Yes, welcome back and welcome back. We are here once again, and it is all about the weekend football, soccer. What happened in the world of football in this weekend? Absolutely massive, absolutely incredible. Questions are being asked. They need answers, and that is why we are here to give you all the answers to social media. And the reaction after the games is also in here for sure. Hey, if you just join us and you are new, remember to hit the subscription button, like and share the video, and your opinions are highly welcome. With me today is Kofi for sure, and I don't know what you think about Kofi. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. The weekend was fire. Quite a lot of surprises, and yes, quite a lot of action too. But it was a very good weekend. Some of them it was really mind blowing. It was starting to extend, but then we are here. We are here with Africa Sports Arena. So yes, it was really a good weekend.
It was really a good weekend for sure. So, guys, I don't know how you think, but this weekend was absolutely massive. We had a London derby, double London derby for sure. Kofi, Tottenham, what is really happening with Tottenham? I told you, Tottenham, Fulham, I was thinking this game, Tottenham could have actually do something because
I don't know, but
the performance have not been actually good, but Kudus outstanding game for him
he had a
made a
fantastic
massive.
game.
Yeah, we'll get into that as well for sure. But hey, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, another London derby that actually happened, and it was absolutely incredible. And for sure, we also had Manchester United came back to win their game 2-1 as well, and we also had that Liverpool is are they have they started winning already? Well, we all know West Ham United this season. It's Liverpool back, and believe me, Isak, Alexander Isak, has had his first Premier League goal for Liverpool for sure. And Real Madrid also failed to win against Girona. We'll get into details of that. What is Barcelona doing currently after losing it in the Champions League to Chelsea as well? Well, things are happening live here. Top Africa Radio for sure. This program, if you just join us, you know how we do it. Kofi,
Yeah.
which one should we go with?
I think we're starting on the Premier League front. One of the matches that really came as a surprise for me was the match between Sunderland and Bournemouth at the Stadium of Light, where Bournemouth had a 2-0 lead, and then Sunderland had to come back and win that game. I think that whatever it is that the coach is doing, and then the morale of the players, the squad, the depth of the squad is really helping the team, and the zeal with which they are playing the football is on another level. For a newly promoted side like Sunderland, who hasn't played in the Premier League for quite some time, and then today they are playing with so much zeal, the likes of Broby, the likes of Zidane Shaqiri, all these past glory experienced players are making the team gel. So I think it was one of the matches that really came as a big surprise for me in the end. For AFC Bournemouth to lead 2-0, and then for Sunderland to come back and win that game, I mean, it should tell you about the kind of form that they have and the kind of experienced players that they have.
But me, I wasn't surprised. I always told you that Sunderland is becoming my favorite team in the Premier League. And for sure, you look at Bournemouth for the past 2 games, they have not actually really done very well. And so I expected Sunderland to go in and win the game for sure. And
Okay.
well, let's see how it's gonna work out. So
Yes, that was quite a big surprise. And then Manchester City leads. For you to score a struggling Leeds United 2-0, and then for them to come and equalize against you at the Etihad Stadium, it took the grace of Phil Foden to actually give Manchester City the win they needed to sail through. So I think that Manchester City too are not out of the woods yet. They need a lot of reshaping to actually reshape their team and build their team. But I mean, expect Guardiola, and we've just played about 13 or 12 matches, so we've not gone anywhere. But I think they're not really out of the woods yet. And then the strategy of the team in realigning with Guardiola's strategy this season is something else. it's not really working well for them, and I think that going forward, Pep Guardiola has to adjust.
No, but you look at Pep Guardiola, Manchester City. I don't think you should be worrying about them. They had a lot of injuries in the beginning of the season, and it's really affected the team quite very well. But Rodri, it's play like Rodri, who is the midfield, who stays the midfield affairs, is not yet back as well. Okay. So assuming if he's back, how will City be? They are not out of the wood yet. I still think they are favourite going into the Premier League champions or title contenders for sure. But in the likes of Foden, you just mentioned about Foden. Don't you think it's high time Foden also step up, because he's no longer the young Foden we used to know?
I think that the youth of Phil Foden has actually come to an end. And then what he has to do is that he has to step up his game. I understand. Because that kind of childish European football that he used to play, now the Premier League is in the big business. You understand? So I think that he needs to step up. But I also feel that in a way, that is the style where the gaffer wants him to play. You understand? That is how the coach wants him to play. You know, I mean, juggle with the ball a little bit, create some space for the strikers to score. So I feel that the game is evolving. Even now, Haaland's game is evolving. So as a player, he needs to evolve. You understand my point? So I think that, I mean, overall, his contribution to the team has not been so good so far this season, and the season has not really gone to any extent. So we can't really criticize for him on that. But I think he needs to step up his game. That I agree with. I agree with.
So how about Erling Haaland and probably Donnarumma performance so far?
I think one of the things for Erling Haaland, he's doing marvelous things. I mean, for Erling Haaland, what the guy is doing is actually good. I think he's really doing marvelous things. But for Gianluigi Donnarumma, I really think that Donnarumma has to, I don't know, but I feel like he's also making his presence felt within the Premier League. And last week Saturday was just one of those days. For I mean, considering 2 goals from and also affiliated to something else. But overall, I think the City squad depth is really good, and they can actually progress as the league or the title contenders, the content for the title actually, you know, goes on. But overall, it's good. It's good for Pep Guardiola and his boys.
Yeah, it's good for Pep Guardiola and the boys. And it's just 5 points between Arsenal and Manchester City, so they can still jump on 2 games.
But 5 points is not just. I mean, you don't just say just. And with the format Arsenal is in, it will be very difficult for them to lose a game. Draw fine, but Man City also is susceptible to losing games. You know, over the week they lost their Champions League game. You know that. So I think you can't just say just because Mikel Arteta is on fire, and then you have to believe me.
Is it because of winning against Barcelona, Bayern Munich, or
you know, for a team, for Arsenal to win against Bayern Munich, which is a team who hasn't lost a game in Europe until Arsenal scored them. You understand my point? So I think that the form and the strategy with which Arsenal is, Mikel Arteta is managing Arsenal with is something that is worthwhile. You understand my point? So I don't really think it's just because Arsenal is in there. You this time around, they are not the underdogs. They are also part of the title contenders.
But for the past 3 seasons or how many seasons now, Arsenal has never been an underdog. They have been a title contenders.
Yeah, but you see, the level of consistency has not been. I don't know, but you see, the last time I told you that the level of consistency that I've seen with this Arsenal team, I've not seen it in years. And you can see the zeal in the eyes of the players, the fire within them as they play the ball. You understand? So this year is going to be different. So this year, for me, I'm taking Arsenal to win the league.
This year, you are taking Arsenal to win the league?
Yeah, of course.
But me, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't think Arsenal can win the league for sure. Because for the past season, something must... in 10-man Chelsea, they could not actually win against Chelsea. And for sure, let's see. But against Chelsea, against Arsenal in Stamford Bridge, 10 men... Arsenal failed to register a win.
Okay.
Don't you think it was a big surprise? Against Manchester United 10 men, Manchester United were able to win against Chelsea.
Yeah.
But Arsenal 10 men, they failed to do that, which you describe. Which you describe as favorite to win Premier League.
Of course, I mean, just because they suffered a setback against Chelsea does not take away the fact that they are one of the favorites to win the Premier League. Look, if you are playing against Chelsea, it's quite different. And this is a London derby, you understand? So there are a lot of the bragging rights at stakes. I mean, makes it a completely different ball game altogether. Now, this is a Chelsea team that beat Barcelona at Stamford Bridge quite a few couple nights ago.
This is a Arsenal team that beat Bayern Munich, who haven't lost a game. And Barcelona is also a team that drew against Club Brugge, not any other team or Club Brugge. So Barcelona is not that kind of team. Let me make your point. Let me make your point because I want you to understand that Arsenal is not that team you think they are.
No, I think what is happening is that if you are playing against a Chelsea team, okay, if you are playing against Enzo Maresca's Chelsea team at Stamford Bridge, it is a completely different ball game together. This is a team that has a very solid midfield. The likes of Moise Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Reece James. You see the kind of position where he allowed Reece to play. This guy is a natural right back, natural right wing back. But on the day against Arsenal and Barca, he played him as a DMF.
But this is not the first game he used him.
So I understand. So imagine you are playing a defensive line or a midfield line of Enzo Fernandez, Moise Caicedo, who unfortunately had a red card, which is the number 7th of the season. I think that's quite bad. And then you are playing with James, who is a left wing back, has the pace and has the ability to move the ball. You understand? So it is not like, and then you have Kukurea on the left wing back, you have Trevor Chalobah, you have Wesley Fofana. You understand my point? And then on the wings you have Pedro Neto, you have João Pedro as the number 9, and then you have this guy, I forgot the name.
Estaval.
So this Brazilian specialist also on the wings. So if you are playing against this Chelsea team, with the likes of Declan Rice, with the likes of Leonardo Trossard, with the likes of Eze, I mean, I really don't think that's a fair comparison. If you are going to,
it's not a fair comparison. But this is a
look. If you are going to check the numbers, each player for himself, you will see that the Chelsea players outtake the Arsenal players.
I don't believe that.
The numbers. Tackles won, duels won the season. The number of matches played. If you're going to check the numbers, I think the Chelsea players will overtake the Arsenal players. So I don't know.
Are you serious?
Of course. If you are checking the numbers, look, let's check the numbers and see.
One thing you need to understand is when Arsenal with this current form, when was the last time Arsenal lost a game?
No, I don't remember.
Exactly against Liverpool. In Anfield, since then Arsenal have not lost a single game.
Okay.
I'm comparing things here. Okay. How many games has Chelsea lost? It's just for the past 9 games. Chelsea have not actually lost, but they've been drawing. Arsenal haven't drawn a game. Even in Champions League, they are the top. They are topping the current Champions League table. Arsenal is the one topping, beating Bayern Munich,
of course,
who hasn't lost a game.
Of course, with
this kind of team, you are still comparing it to Chelsea team who gives you like inconsistency performance.
But I see, I'm not talking about easy. If you take the team as a whole, it makes a completely different argument. What I am saying is that if you are comparing player to player, okay, in terms of numbers, the Chelsea squad, I mean, in terms of numbers, the record.
Remember, Zubimendi is in there.
Okay.
Declan Rice is in there. Okay. And this match, it was just always Declan Rice and Caicedo that this game was centered on. Okay. Unfortunately, Caicedo had a red card, and then Declan Rice could not even show up because Reece James just took the show out from everyone on the pitch. So when you are talking about player to player, I don't think this Chelsea current team, you can compare player to player with this Arsenal team as we stand right now, with the performance from last season up to this season. No. This is Arsenal team, or this is a team that has been in second position for 3 consecutive seasons.
Okay.
So they ought to do better.
Okay.
They ought to do better.
So to you, what is the problem of
To
Arsenal?
me, it's just like they don't have the mentality is not there.
Okay.
The winning mentality, the trophies mentality, they don't have it. This is an Arteta. Look,
the likes of Bukayo Saka.
the likes of Bukayo. What did Bukayo Saka did in the game?
But he was marked by Cucurella, so there was no way he was going to have an impact on the game. But the point is that you seem to be feeling the point. Look, Chelsea is not a team to trifle with. You can't trifle. You can't just go on Chelsea like that. No, be a force to be reckoned with. That's what you have to understand. And then the kind of thing we have at the moment, I really don't think any team can actually work on us just like that. So it wasn't going to be an easy. It wasn't going to be an easy win for Arsenal. Just because we lost against Bayern doesn't mean that Arsenal is going to walk over us. Gradually, we are building our team. Gradually, we are getting the squad together. Gradually, we are finding our feet on the ground. And then you, as Hansi Flick said, after the post-match interview after we defeated Barca 3-0 at the Stamford Bridge, he said that this Chelsea side is not a side to try forward. These are his own words. We have individual quality, and then when they play together as a team, the synergy that it generates is actually beautiful. You understand my point? So I know Arsenal is a very good team, but if you say that because Arsenal ought to do better, Chelsea is a force to reckon with. Manchester United only beat us because we had a red card.
But Chelsea had a red card against Arsenal. Why don't they beat Chelsea?
That is not absolute. You can't just say that because you had a red card and somebody beat you, so automatically somebody has to beat you. Every game has a different strategy. You understand my point? I don't know. One of the things that I am beginning to like about Enzo Maresca is that after there's a red card in the game, initially he uses to panic, but now he doesn't. He keeps his composure. He studies the game, and then after that, he makes the necessary changes that he's supposed to do. So probably the game against Manchester United, he panicked. He made some wrong decisions, and then that was all. That's why we lost the game.
But with Arteta, no, we always say like being in a team for five years at least. When you are facing a team like Chelsea, you ought to do better, because this is a game that if you win, you open up with 9 points.
But you are always saying you ought to do better. So Chelsea also ought to do better. So the fact that
no, but before the game, you listen to the Arsenal fans, you listen to Chelsea fans. You know you knew the direction of where course. The game was gonna go. Based on the current performance, based on previous performance, and based on London Derby performance.
Of course, I don't remember the last time Chelsea beat us now.
Exactly, that's about since 2019 or 2016. I can't remember.
I don't remember the last time Chelsea beat us.
After Eden Hazard left Chelsea, I don't think they have beaten.
I don't think I remember the last time they beat us. But my point is, Chelsea is beefing up the team, and then it is not a side to try forward. You understand? Now we have a lot of depth in our squad. So if this guy is not there, this guy will play. This guy is not there, this guy will play. That's my point. So Arsenal is for me, if for the entire season that we've played in Europe, if you told me to pick my team of the season, I'll give it to Arsenal. Because they've really been consistent at all fronts. You understand? Champions League, Europe, domestic cups, everything. They've really been consistent. But what I'm trying to say is that the fact that Arsenal has been consistent does not mean that this Chelsea team is a team that you can try for with. You understand my point?
Okay.
So you remember the season where we won the Champions League in 2012? We were at the very seed position, but in Europe we were dominating. You understand my point? So sometimes it's like that. So Arsenal may be on top of their game, and then they were expected to beat Chelsea. I don't know if you check the betting stakes. Every betting site gave Arsenal the upper hand.
That's what I'm saying. Before the game, even Arsenal fans, the way they were speaking,
they were going to look. I told my brother that this game, our best chance would be draw because the Arsenal side has been consistent. But after I saw the game where Chelsea dominated the entire play, we created more chances than them, we dominated possessions than them, and I realized that, oh look, then Enzo Maresca is actually up to something. The guy is actually building something, because if you look at the past 3 games of Chelsea and then look at the game that we played against Arsenal, our defense, our offense, our midfield, everything was solid. You understand my point? So I mean, yes, Arsenal is a good team, but Chelsea is not, or is also not a team to try forward.
So, according to maybe some football pundits, if Chelsea didn't have a red card,
they would have
won that game. Are you siding
Of course. Look, I don't know. From when we started the second half, immediately we started the second half, all the action was against Arsenal. When Reece took, I mean, but let me be clear about this. I think for me now, the best player in the world is Reece James. I mean, that guy.
The best midfielder or the best player?
The best midfielder within the Premier League is Reece James for me.
But Reece James started as a midfielder.
But later he was
shifted to right under Frank Lampard. Yeah,
of course. But look, my issue is I think when the second half was started, Chelsea with Reece in the middle, Cucurella on the left wing back, Trevor Chalobah, Wesley Fofana, and then Enzo Fernandez pushing the ball through. You understand my point? All the pressure was on Arsenal. You understand my point? Yeah. So it was after the 65th minute when they settled, that is when we started soaking in pressure. Even with them, the pressure didn't last for like 10 minutes. Chelsea was always on them. And then if you watch the game, say from the second half, and then nobody told you Chelsea was playing with a numerical disadvantage, you wouldn't have known. Because we were matching them at every department, corner for corner.
But thank God to Reece James, who had actually had control in the midfield over Rice, over Zubimendi, and everything. And to be frank, a lot of people have actually given them that go ahead. Do you think he should keep on using Reece James in the midfield?
You see, that is one thing I like about the Premier League. You can't, unless you're Pep Guardiola, I've said this time and time again, you can't repeat the same thing and expect to get the same results. Eventually, the other coaches are going to catch on. You understand? That is why I like jogging club so much. You have to think outside the box. You don't have to stick to one particular style. If this style is working for you today, people will catch up. So you make sure you change it. You understand my point?
Okay.
So if the midfield is working, fine. You have to be consistent. If you continue playing that, eventually people are going to catch up. You understand my point?
So according to the red card, a lot of Maresca accepted that it was a red card.
Of course. I mean, nobody is denying.
But his question was the game against Tottenham, Chelsea against Tottenham, Bentancur tackle against Reece James.
Yeah.
He said it was the same thing.
But I think I have issues with Anthony Taylor.
No, according to him, the question is, why do they judge it differently with the same tackles?
But that is why I'm saying that I have issues with Anthony Taylor.
Anthony Taylor didn't take it as record. It was VAR who called him to go and check it.
Oh, okay.
And in VAR, they will slow it for him to see.
But I don't think this is having up for debate. What I said, per the rules of football, was a clear red card.
But how about the Bentancur one?
And so, I mean, for decisions made by the referees, it is subjected to the referees.
But why the changes? Why is it different? Because it's the same tackles, but someone goes for yellow card, someone goes for red card.
That a lot of factors may depend. The fact that if you look at the rules of football critically, the fact that a referee made a decision in a particular game, all games are not the same. You understand? All game, even though
it was a London derby, this one was a London derby. It doesn't really matter.
But the game, what were the parties involved? It was a Tottenham against Chelsea, or something. You understand my point? So the fact that a referee makes a decision on this particular game, this is not judiciary where we follow precedents of the.
No, but the rules is the same. The rule never changed.
But no, you see, it is the one who applies the rules that makes the decision, not you and me.
No, but the one applying the decisions or the rules, ought to follow the rules.
Yes, the rules are the rules, but it is at my own discretion. You understand my point? That is why in an instant, a referee can give an advantage to a situation, another referee wouldn't. Do you dare question the referee of his decision that why is it that in this match this referee gave me an advantage and then you are not giving me an advantage in this situation? It is the onus is on the referee to make that decision. It is at the discretion of the referee. So,
but you know, in this situation, clubs will feel cheated because if this one is not a foul and this one is a foul,
so that is why you have the right to appeal. You have the right to appeal a decision. Has there not been instances where clubs appeal decisions?
But have you ever seen a club appealing for, like, let's say Bentancur one day after the game they appeal that?
Of course.
Have you ever seen them giving a red card after the game?
No.
Exactly.
But look, if the referee association actually review the decision, and then they find that the decision of the referee was, incongruous to that of the game. What they do is that they call the referee, they punish the referee. Sometimes for like 3 matches, he won't officiate. Even though he's not going to bring your points back, even though you're not going to give
But there are instances, even with that one, the VAR said, they agree with their on-field decision. We saw Anthony Taylor giving Caicedo a yellow card, but they still call him to go and then...
That is the discretion of the referee. These are the rules of the game. You understand my point? So whether you agree with it or not, I have the power. These are the rules of the game. So if the rules is that I can call this event back and then come and look, that is the rules. Now FIFA made a new rule that is only the captain that can talk to the referee. For me, I don't think it's fair. But these are the rules. And then it is at the discretion of the governing body. Look, we have to understand that we are human beings, and in certain situations we are going to get it wrong. So in football, to err is human. It is part of the game. If you are cheated by a referee decision, it is fair. That is part of the game.
Okay, so
even before VAR, people were cheated.
So Enzo Maresca,
of course,
he made mention of Estaval. The reason why he doesn't give him regular start in the game, he doesn't want to put unnecessary pressure to the boy. Do you think he actually performed very well against Arsenal?
No, I think expectations played a part. So after a very wonderful performance against FC Barcelona, people were expecting that Estaval was actually going to deliver a world-class performance. And then one of the things I've realized about the Premier League is that there's a lot of PR in the Premier League. People will hype players, hey, this guy is this guy is this, and then unwarranted expectations come. So if you're not given a regular start, it means there's less expectation of you. Once you are brought in and you deliver the magic, everybody is happy. You understand my point? So I agree with Enzo Maresca to an extent. But why I disagree with him is the fact that if you want somebody to gain experience, you don't keep them on the bench. It is only through playing regularly that is when people can actually gain experience. You understand my point?
Yeah.
So I think what they need to do is that they need to fortify their minds as players psychologically, and then when they are given the chance, they should give their all and perform exceptionally well. But there are a lot of expectations. Chelsea is a big club, you understand, and people expect quality performances every weekend. You have to deliver them back to back, even though you're not Lionel Messi or Eden Hazard. You understand my point? So I really think the expectation, because after that wonderful performance against Barcelona, people were expecting that he actually give a very standing performance against Arsenal. But it doesn't work like that. We are human beings. We have limitations. You understand my point?
We are human beings and we have limitations. But people forgot he was actually being defended by an Italian, Calafiore. So sometimes it's kind of very, very difficult.
But I think we should actually applaud Marco Cucurella. The guy is brilliant. I don't know if our guys watch the Barcelona game against Lamine Yamal, and then they watch the game against Bukayo Saka.
Yeah.
The guy is exceptional.
No, Cucurella, when it comes to defending, he's exceptional.
Yeah, of course.
He's exceptional.
Attacking,
attacking, he's good. He was scoring goals for Chelsea. He was doing in the beginning of the season. You see what, but right now, no, because there's limitations. Okay. Because sometimes, when you go too much, that's where your opponent exploit.
Of course.
And for him, we are satisfied with what he's doing.
Of course.
The kind of defending, and then when we are on the ball, he joined the midfield. Off the ball, he stay on his right back. And I think he's doing fantastic. And you cannot even forget about Malo Gusto. The performance he has also putting out in that position have absolutely amazing. And sometimes he also do join the midfield as well. I could remember the last 2 games, the coach used him in the midfield, sort of his usual position. So sometimes the coach kind of play. And one thing about Maresca I like is his way of studying game before the D-Day. And you look at how he studied Barcelona, come in with that wonderful masterclass performance. You look at these Arsenal guys, you still think what is Arteta doing in Arsenal there? So do you still think Arsenal will win this?
Look, I've told you this. That
5 points, City behind.
No, look, But I don't know why you keep on underrating Arsenal.
No, because I don't see any. Like, last season, the same thing.
No, but last season is not this season.
Exactly.
Last season is not this
I
season.
know they have improved their squad
Of
with
course. There's a depth.
Bereche,
There's a depth in their
with
squad.
Nuno Madueke,
Yeah.
and you see this kind of players.
There's a depth in their squad, though.
There's a depth in their squad, but one thing you need to know is sometimes
The fire
experience. The club mentality, what have you? Do you think if it was Manchester United, Liverpool, or Chelsea, or any other team that had 3 consecutive second position, don't you think they could have won the league at least once?
Yeah, I think Liverpool was second twice, the third time they won the league.
Exactly.
The point is that, look, this is Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. This is a club that has actually suffered series of setbacks in the past decades. But look, this guy has actually built something. For over the past 5 years, Arsenal has been consistent in the Champions League. This was something you and I were used to growing up. This was something you and I were used to growing up. When we were playing the Champions League, Arsenal was always playing the Europa League. You understand my point? I remember growing up, the last time I saw Arsenal playing the Champions League was when Arshavin, they played against Barca, and then Barca scored them mercilessly. I think that time that was the first time they played the Champions League at the Emirates Stadium. They used to play at Highbury. If you remember. So now, if they built a team where the team is constantly playing European football, I honestly believe that is okay. You understand?
But so an Arsenal fan, I don't know if you are an Arsenal fan. Excuse me, I'm not the one who said it. It was an Arsenal fan. He said winning against Chelsea is okay for them this season.
Yeah. Because
because the mentality, that's what I'm saying. They are not looking up to the trophy.
No.
They are looking at.
These are the words of a fan. We are talking about the one who makes the real decisions.
But it's the fans that will put pressure on the players. It's the fans that will make the club actually perform. Remember the days when Chelsea was not performing. They bring in Graham Potter. It wasn't working. They had to make noise. They remove him. They brought this one. It's not working. They had to remove him. Sometimes the fans pushes the club to be where they are. So if a fan said, okay, even if we win against Chelsea and we didn't win the trophy, I'm okay with that. What as a player playing in that club, what will you think?
You can't just use the words of one fan to just oppose against the entire Arsenal team. That's something I don't agree with. I mean, that is somebody's opinion. That is somebody's discussion.
I remember very well when your own Chelsea lost against Sunderland. Okay. What were you saying about it?
But
exactly.
This is a game. I mean, look, in football, you can't win. Apart from us now, that actually went unbeaten in that golden era in 2000. No other club will say that, look, I'm playing all this while and I will never lose a game. You understand my point? Losses are part of football. Whether you like it or not, you lose. But there are some games you don't lose. You don't lose to a newly promoted club like Sunderland, the Black Cats, at your own backyard. You understand my point? So you don't lose to a team like PSV and Hoven if you're Liverpool at your own back club in Anfield. You understand my point? So you don't lose to a team like Nottingham Forest at your own backyard. So there are some games we don't expect you to lose because of the pedigree of football that you have in the European and in the Premier League as well. So, but for losses, they are really part of football. So if one fan of us now says that, look, even if we win against Chelsea and then we lose the Premier League, like that is just the opinion of one fan at his own discretion. You understand my point? But I think that what Arteta is doing at Arsenal is magnificent because when was the last time you realized that Arsenal was this competitive? In the days of Arsene Wenger. Be honest with me, was Arsenal this competitive? In the days of Arsene Wenger, was Arsenal this competitive? Where Jose Mourinho could just score Arsenal back to back and then score Arsenal and go. Now Arsenal is a force to reckon with. You understand my point? So that is why I always say that for me, Pep Guardiola is the greatest coach of all time. For him,
okay. So Alexander Isak scored his first Premier League goal for Liverpool.
Yeah, of course.
He made mention that this doesn't mean Liverpool is back. They just need to keep on working to improve. Do you think it's high time Liverpool start winning their games, or this is the start of Liverpool getting back into their normal games?
I don't think this is actually. I don't think this means anything. What it means is that this is just how should I put it, a morale booster for the boys. the morale of the team is down. You know, if you look at the way they play, losing against Nottingham Forest, losing against PSV and Dover, I mean, and then winning against a struggling West Ham. I don't know if you watched the game. I watched the snipers of it. Liverpool really struggled to win that game.
Yeah.
So I think they are not back as Alexander Isak said, but then they just need to keep on trying, and then they'll just find their feet. And Ancelotti has to. We've said it here time and time again. And Ancelotti has to find his own rhythm. He has to find his own rhythm. What works for him, he has to do and find it. You understand? I just think he just selects the players. All these 10 players with one keeper, just go and stand on the field, play what you want, no tactics, no anything. So I think gradually he has to find. He just has to find his feet on the ground, and then he work magic. But I know Liverpool will bounce back, and this is just something that's how should I put it? This is just a slight exposure of heat when it's cold. So this is just something.
Yeah, but this was a game that they bench Mohamed Salah.
Of course.
He didn't actually start the game, but they won the game.
No. His influence in the team has actually eloped. So they have to drop him and then just bring in this new crop of players. You understand? You can't actually stick to the old system and expect different results. Also. Sometimes, errors do come to an end, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we are no longer in the CR7 Messi era. That era has come to an end. We are no longer within the Didier Drogba and Wayne era. That was one of the greatest eras of football if you were alive by then. But that era is no longer there. The Raul Gonzalez, the Karim Benzema's, the Felipe Inzaghi's, all these eras they come.
But the coach said he feel he's been too tired because since the starting he has been playing every single game.
Of course. So 12 matches you have to be tired. I mean, you have to be tired. But I don't think that's really the case. I think the fact is that the team needs to be built around somebody else. There has to be a key player, the likes of Florent Bild, Soboslai, Jeremy Frimpong, this all this new squad that has been brought in. So they have to build the team around a different guy. Mohamed Salah, he has to understand that eras do come to an end, and then his era is ending. So yes, I agree if the coach puts him on the bench.
And Soboslai.
Yeah.
The positioning he has been right back, midfield, wings, wherever he has been playing him. Do you think he's the instrumental player for Liverpool?
I really don't think he plays a very pivotal part of the Liverpool game. But the constant switch in his position just tells you that football is just a spontaneous game. Almost all the time, the coaches are just trying something new. You understand? So there's no fix anything, and he seems to be adapting very well. But one of the things I really like about him is that he's the bedrock of the midfield. He moves the game. You understand? Once he gets the ball, he looks for the AMF Florent Wirtz and then he passes the ball. When he's defending, he's on another level. So I think the switching of positions is just a test run to see where he would actually fit and play well. I remember Rafa Benitez doing that with Sami Khedira too. You understand my point? He will allow Sami Khedira to play DMF sometimes as a 6. Sometimes we just allow him to play the AMF position as an 8. So I think that is what Arne Slot is doing with Liverpool.
That is what Arne Slot is doing with Liverpool. Going to La Liga. La Liga of La Liga, the University of Football Club. Real Madrid failed to win against Girona. It was draw for sure away from home. Do you think Alonso and his men should have done better in that game?
I've said this time and again because Xabi Alonso cannot do this Real Madrid job. The last time I said that you were fighting with me here that he has won all his games and blah 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 blah, but I think the job is bigger than Alonso. And he also, just like Ancelotti, he also has to find his rhythm.
But it's just 14 games. He's in the second position with 1 point different from Barcelona.
But when the league started, where was he? What was his position?
He was in the first position.
And then why so if there's a drop in the position, what should that tell you?
So that is his problem.
Of course. So I think he has an issue with man management. He is very young. He just played. He's just one of the last guys to play in one of the greatest eras of football. If you were lucky to have watched Xabi Alonso, you know how good of a player he was at Liverpool and then at Real Madrid. So because most of the guys think is that they are at par with him in terms of football, in terms of age, I think he has a difficulty in controlling the guys at Real Madrid.
So you think he cannot win this La Liga with this squad?
I don't think so. I think he has a problem with man management, and the team is bigger than him.
No, but he hasn't fall out with any player.
I think he has. But these were reported in the Spanish newspapers that he has had a fallout with the likes of Vinicius Junior and some of the players at the camp.
No,
really?
but the thing is, they have given him the opportunity. If Vinicius for the last season up to date, he has not been of himself. He's not been performing that much. It's just recently he has been able to pick up. And Rodrigo has been on bench. I think if you had talked about Rodrigo, I would have actually because Rodrigo wanted to actually leave. Vini has been like a darling boy in Madrid as we speak right now. And I also heard he's linked with Manchester United. There's a rumor that Vini might go to Manchester United in case Real Madrid didn't or refused to renew his contract. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's a nice move for Vini?
Vinicius and Real Madrid. Wow. I think it all boils down to player management, man management to the coach, the team and the board. Florentino Perez has, that guy, he has his ways, you understand? Mm-hmm. He has his ways of, twisting the arms of people and stuff. But whatever it is that the board decides, I think, Vinicius Junior as a black man, I really appreciate him and the kind of stuff that he's doing for Basel and then Real Madrid. But he has some character around him that I really dislike. I don't know, but if he doesn't change that character, I don't think he will be good for football and then what he's trying to represent. So, with regards to contract, I think Florentino Perez has his ways, and then Vini will always do anything just to secure the back. Brazilian players, they like money. So yes, yeah. But for Rodrigo being on the bench, it's something else. But so you want Xabi Alonso to bench Kylian Mbappe Lotin and play Rodrigo? Is that really worthwhile for Xabi Alonso to? No, look, sometimes you have to be realistic here. So if you were a coach, you are telling me that you are going to bench one of the greatest players of this era, of this Gen Alpha era, Kylian Mbappe Lotin, and play a mediocre Rodrigo. No,
but they all play in almost different positioning. Yeah,
they're all wingers.
Yeah. But now Mbappe is more or less a striker now.
Okay, so he plays Valverde on the wings.
On the wings.
And then he plays
Vini on the right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So but I don't think
even there's a rumor that Valverde might also be moving to Manchester United. Yeah, I don't know how.
I think I've seen that, and then I've read through that. But you see, look, even with Valverde and then Rodrigo, I still don't think if I was a coach, I would pick Rodrigo. But I don't think I'll pick Rodrigo.
So Barcelona, let's talk about Barcelona. After
they won their game.
After losing against Chelsea. When they won the game at home, we saw Rafinha actually speaking to Hansen Flick, telling him, he told him the team will bounce back. They will bounce back. Do you think this is a bounce back?
No. I don't know why teams, after suffering for some quite of time, they win one match and they see the quality bounce back. No, the bounce back the wins has to be continuous before you can say you bounce back. Yeah, that's my point. So
no, but I think after Chelsea game, the player meets the coach and told him that things will change.
Of course, I mean
they will perform, and really they've won their first game at home.
Yes. But I don't think it's a bounce back. This is the company. This is one of the greatest ideas in the world, and this is the Barcelona. I mean, the Catalans playing, the cool, the careless. You understand? And then they didn't play against any major side. It was one of the lowest suffering sides in the Spanish La Liga. So you don't win a game against such a side, and then you come and call it a bounce back. You understand my point? So I don't really think it's a bounce back. What Barcelona needs to be dealing with is the pressure on Lamine Yamal. That is something that they have to be dealing with. You understand? The expectations, the attentions he draw to himself. You see, one of the reasons why I always will choose Lionel Andres Messi over Cristiano Ronaldo is that Messi never drew attention to himself. But when he's on the field, he will let you know why he's one of the best players the world has ever seen. So he has to stop the talking, all the necessary attention on himself, and then do what he's supposed to do on the pitch. So I don't really think this is a bounce back. Hansi Flick, he needs to go back to the drawing board. I know Germans are really good coaches. He needs to go back to the drawing board and then rethink some of his strategies. But I really don't think there's a bounce back by the Barcelona squad. I highly disagree that it's a bounce back. And then if we are being fair, I think we have to congratulate HSV here in Hamburg.
Yeah, we'll go there. We'll go there.
After winning their home game, and then there was all celebrations on the streets of Stellingen, from the Stellingen Arena to that's they play at the Folk Stadium, in Stellingen. Yes, so it was all celebrations after they won a 2-1 win against, I think it was FC Freiburg or Stuttgart.
It was Stuttgart.
Yeah,
it was Stuttgart.
Yeah.
So right now, you are talking about HSV, but the performance hasn't really been.
Yeah, the synergy hasn't really been there. And to be honest, they also had a red card, but then they managed to win against Stuttgart.
This is Stuttgart. Yeah, Stuttgart is playing in the Champions League, or is it in Europa? I can't remember. But well, for HSV to actually, I think it's a start in a good direction.
But
or maybe it might change. Sometimes you just need to win one particular game, and everything will start changing for you.
They've really been inconsistent within the German Bundesliga. Today they win the match, the next day they lose the match. Today they win the match, the next day
they just need to stay. They just need to stay in the in the Bundesliga, because they can't win every game in the Bundesliga. They just need to stay for next season again.
It's not really looking good. But why? Actually, this is why I don't like the German Bundesliga. Look, the person at the topmost played 12 matches, has 34 points.
Mm-hmm.
The person in the second has 26 points.
Yeah.
How?
That's what we always complain about, the consistency, the competitive nature of the Bundesliga.
The German Bundesliga is something.
Well, it's still a competition that we love most. So Hurricane. With Bayern Munich. So it's like the Bayern Munich president is actually talking about how they still need the service of Hurricane, and he thinks Hurricane contract ends in 2017. His family is happy here. 2027. His family is happy here, and he thinks Hurricane will still renew contract with them.
Yeah, but
do you think like
why would he change the team? If you've played football for almost half of your adult life and you've not won any single trophy, you move to a new different club in a new city, in a new country, and you win a trophy. Why would you change that club? I really don't see any reason why you should change the club. But I think he actually, for me, he's one of the typical, after Ronaldo Nazario, that great Brazilian legend. Mm-hmm. He's one of the typical number 9 strikers the game has ever seen in a while. You understand my point? Mm-hmm. He's a complete striker.
So compare him to Lewandowski.
But I think Harry Kane is far better than Lewandowski. He's really far better than Lewandowski. Have you ever seen Lewandowski coming, taking the ball from the back, creating play, giving passes, and then being in the position to score again?
No, but as a striker, your main point is to score the goals.
That is why I agree.
Comparing the goals with Lewandowski, I don't have to agree with you.
No. Even comparing the goals, I would even choose Erling Haaland over everybody. You understand? If you are comparing the goals,
Erling Haaland he has scored the goals, but when it comes to the trophies, yes, you can't compare him with Lewandowski.
Yes. But my point is that that is what you see.
You are talking about a typical striker of Ronaldo.
So are you trying to tell me that? Erling Haaland is a good striker than Ronaldo Nazario.
No. What I'm saying is, no, you said like after Ronaldo, you haven't seen a typical striker.
Of course,
like
Harry Kane. Yeah.
No.
So you actually what?
Well, how about that's why I mentioned Lewandowski.
No, you see, look. Probably I'm looking at different.
Okay.
I'm looking at
DJ Drogba.
DJ Drogba is a typical striker. He's a ball playing striker. He's there. But for me, if you put DJ Drogba there, then you put Harry Kane there, I'll choose Harry Kane.
Okay.
I would choose Harry Kane.
That's your personal opinion.
That is my personal opinion.
Okay.
But I'm not saying Drogba is not I mean, he's a clinical striker. Top striker. He understands my point. Didier Drogba is a typical striker. But if you look at how Harry Kane, the impact Harry Kane has on a game, and if you look at the impact Lewandowski has on a game, how can you compare those two? It's like comparing apples to oranges. It's like you are saying that, okay, fine. I mean, Ronaldo Nazario was a great striker, but because Erling Haaland can score goals, he's more better than Ronaldo Nazario. No. If you look at the impact of Ronaldo Nazario,
are you telling me that Lewandowski and Harry Kane has impact on this current Bayern Munich than the form Lewandowski in
Lewandowski was just scoring goals. Have you seen Harry Kane? Have you seen Harry Kane?
Exactly. That's what he was bought for.
No. Lewandowski was just scoring goals. Have you seen Harry Kane? Hey, what are you going to talk about? So it's like, do you know Karim Benzema?
Karim Benzema too. I forgot about him as well.
Karim Benzema is one of the. He was a typical striker number 9. He can score goals.
He is a typical striker now because he still plays football.
Of course, okay. I thought he was retired, but he's playing the arm. So look, for him to come back and then run for the ball, come back, play in part of the game, and then still win the ball and still go and score the goals. These are the kind of strikers that you don't see in the modern era. You understand my point? Now, look at how Broby is doing with Sunderland. He will run back to the center line for the ball. He will move with the team to actually defend at the tip of the center, and then when they counter, he goes back with the team. You understand my point? So this is Brian Broby that we are talking about. So these are some of the strikers that are actually, for me, that defies logic. So Ronaldo Nazario, Didier Drogba, Dimitar Berbatov, you see the kind of strikers. They will come back for the ball, they will run with the ball, and then they will go and score. So look, me for between Andy Carroll, right?
Andy Carroll, yeah.
So between Andy Carroll and Erling Haaland, whom would you choose?
Obviously, I need the goals, so I'll choose Erling Haaland.
You choose Erling Haaland.
Yes.
But for me, they are on the same. They are on the same.
I'll always choose Erling Haaland
because Andy Carroll will just be standing there, bring the ball, then he will score. Erling Haaland, sometimes you do the runs when you play him the true ball, but he's just a goal poacher. You understand my point? So for me, I like ball playing strikers. That is how I like the game. Strikers who can actually fall back.
Okay, so lastly, before we go, tomorrow there are games coming on, not Champions League, midweek Premier League games are coming on tomorrow, for sure, and we'll just run it through. Then probably that we can. Tomorrow we have Premier League fixtures coming your way. Bournemouth will be facing Everton at home. Fulham versus Manchester City. We have Newcastle United versus Tottenham Hotspur. And on Wednesday, a lot of games still coming. Arsenal will be hosting Brentford in the Emirates Sports Stadium. It's going to be a London derby. Very, very difficult one. Brighton versus Aston Villa. We also have Burnley versus Crystal Palace, Wolves versus Nottingham Forest. We also have Leeds versus Chelsea, and Liverpool will be facing Sunderland in Anfield. That's how the Premier League will be looking like this midweek. So join us on Monday probably. We'll still bring you on board to discuss more details of what happened the midweek and also weekend for sure, because weekend there are still games coming on your way for sure. Without much time, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscription button, like and share the video for sure. And hey, your opinions are highly welcome. And also, hey, let me know your opinions. Do you think Arsenal are favorite to win this season Premier League? Let me know your opinions. For Bundesliga, we already know Bayern is already on the way there. But hey, let me know your opinions on that. If you think Arsenal are the title favorites. Without much ado, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for your time. And we'll see you next week. Ciao.